Okay, sticking with the transfer news today, because there seems to be a lot surrounding Liverpool today coming off of the weekend. And one of the big stories, or one of the big rumors, is that Liverpool has made some discreet inquiries about Mason Mount at Chelsea. Now, Liverpool are not necessarily in the market for a midfielder this summer. They've focused mostly on the attack. They've also brought in Calvin Ramsey to play as a backup right back. And Liverpool are potentially going to continue to monitor and look at some attacking players to potentially bring in. We've seen some links to such as Otavio, who we talked about previously on here. And there's also the possibility that, say, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain could leave the club this summer, which would maybe give Liverpool the chance, or the need, I should say, to bring in another midfielder. Now, Mount is linked with Liverpool according to several reports. It's been reported by Sky Sports and the Daily Express that Liverpool have made these discreet inquiries to parties at Chelsea about Mason Mount and his availability. This actually goes back to last season when there were some rumors that Liverpool were interested in signing Mason Mount as a potential midfielder. Now, Mount is under contract at Chelsea until 2024, so he's got 2 years left on his contract. And to be honest, there's not really any need for Chelsea to sell one of their prized assets. The Blues have the financial backing of their new owners to where they don't necessarily need to sell one of their top players unless Thomas Tuchel really wants to rebuild this team or readjust things. Now, this isn't necessarily Tuchel's team. He took over for Frank Lampard. He hasn't necessarily had the chance to buy and sell players and to build this squad the way he would like to. We've seen several Chelsea players linked with moves away from the club this season. Christian Pulisic was linked with a move to Liverpool earlier. We detailed that on a video a couple weeks ago. And we've also seen that Hakim Ziyech is potentially pushing for a move away from Chelsea. Now, there's some issues there at Chelsea, it seems. Lukaku wanted out. He's gone now back to Inter Milan on a loan. Andres Christensen left on a free transfer. Antonio Rudiger left on a free transfer. You've got Marcos Alonso and Azpilicueta, who both want to also leave the club. So there seem to be a lot of issues there at Chelsea. Some things they need to address there at Stamford Bridge. Now, could Mount be available for a transfer this summer? Well, he could be. Everybody is available for a transfer as long as someone wants to pay the money. Now, Mount is valued at £67.5 million at the minute, and that valuation comes from Transfer Market. Mount, just 23 years old, and like I said before, contracted to Chelsea until 2024. And last season, we saw Mount play 5 different positions. He played as an attacking midfielder, where he appeared in 40 games for Chelsea, as a central midfielder, on the right wing, as a center forward, and on the left wing. And of course, he was at his most successful when he was playing as an attacking midfielder, playing 40 games in that position, scoring 12 goals and adding 14 assists. Now, there is talk of Liverpool playing in a different formation this season, going from Klopp's favored 4-3-3 formation into a 4-2-3-1 formation. And this would really alter the way that Liverpool play, with 2 holding midfielders or 2 pivots, playing with an attacking midfielder in front of those pivots and right behind Darwin Núñez or Diogo Jota, depending on how Klopp wants to play it. Liverpool don't necessarily have an attacking midfielder to play that number 10 role in support of a central striker. Now, Mason Mount would theoretically be a player who Liverpool could play in that position. Jordan Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho are more of the holding midfielder type, so they would play as those 2 pivots, and we saw Thiago do that at Bayern Munich and have great success. So really, who does Liverpool have to play that number 10 position? Well, you've got Diogo Jota, who could possibly fill in that role, but it's not necessarily his position, and you don't want to play Salah or Luis Diaz there, because they excel on the wings using their pace and their dribbling skills to get around defenders. So it leaves Liverpool with the possibility of needing to bring in a player to play that number 10 position. Now, if Harvey Elliott or Curtis Jones is to get a larger role this season, that could be one of their positions. Jones excels in attacking positions. He dreams, you can tell when he has the ball, he has that ball around the 18-yard box. He dreams of being the next Steven Gerrard. Harvey Elliott was a winger at one time, but he seems to be more comfortable playing and better, and in my opinion, at playing in a more central role. And this could be a role playing in that number 10 position where he can unlock defenses with his passing, because we saw him play on the right side of the midfield last season before his ankle injury and have great success before that ankle injury, and then after that he wasn't necessarily the same for the rest of the season. But Liverpool, like I say, linked to Mason Mount through different reports saying that they have discreetly inquired about him. Now, Mount's statistics from last season were excellent. 53 games in all competitions, 13 goals and 16 assists. 11 of those goals came in 32 Premier League matches, and 10 of those assists came in 10 Premier League matches. So Liverpool would be getting an excellent creative midfielder to come play for them. Now, would Mount come to play for Liverpool? Who knows about that one? He's had lots of success at Chelsea. He's got 2 years left on his contract, and he's only 23 years old. This is the time that he would, Chelsea could definitely cash in on this. Chelsea typically have cashed in on their homegrown players, the players that they've brought through. So Mount could be one of those players that they decide to cash in on and to look elsewhere to build and strengthen the squad. I think it would be a fantastic move for Liverpool if they were able to sign Mason Mount. Again, £67 million is a lot of money, and Liverpool are not in the market at the moment to address any midfield situations, or any midfield positions, I should say. They have sold Takumi Minamino to Monaco for £15.5 million. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, as we detailed over the weekend in a video here, has handed in a transfer request, and he would bring around £10 million if Liverpool were able to sell him. He's in the last year of his contract, coming up on that. He's in the last year of his contract, so Liverpool could have around £25 million already from those two sales, if Oxlade-Chamberlain were to go, to put into signing Mason Mount. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to come off this season unless Mount were to push for a move come August. As I've said before, the World Cup is going to cause a lot of players to seek moves in August, because they're going to be trying to get into their national team squads and make themselves available for the World Cup. This is going to be a huge August. Teams are going to be playing 4 to 5 games, and then we're going to be having the transfer window close at the beginning of September. Players are going to be seeking some game time, and there's going to be quite a few moves as we get up to that final day of the transfer window. And I don't think Liverpool are going to be done. I think there's going to be a move or two that happens. I think we're going to see 1 or 2 more players come into Liverpool before the transfer window closes, because they are seeking a place to go to get some playing time. And of course, I know we're going to see some players go. Nat Phillips is one of them. I think is going to go in some way, shape, or form. Nico Williams as well. So we're going to see players go for sure, but I think we're also going to see 1 to 2 players come in. All right, guys, let me know what you think about these links that Liverpool have to Mason Mount and these discreet inquiries Liverpool have made for the attacking midfielder. Do you think he'd be a good fit at Liverpool? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on everything I post here. Thank you so much, guys, for all the recent likes and comments, and all of you who have subscribed lately. I really appreciate it. Help me grow this channel, and I will see you next time here on Liverpool Reds FC Blog.